Hi, artists of the world. Let's talk about something that makes so many creative people feel weird and stuck. How the heck are you supposed to talk about your art? Like, really, how do you write about it? How do you make content about it? How do you describe it? How do you introduce it? How do you explain it without feeling like you're either bragging or cringing? I promise if you've ever sat down to write a caption or update your website and just stared at the screen in total blank or maybe panic, you're really not alone. This comes up all the time with my students and inside my community. And to be honest, my mind blanks sometimes too. And sometimes I write these scripts for these YouTube videos thinking, do you think it's funny? Who do you think you are? Yeah, this is cringe. But if it's not funny, or maybe it is cringy, my videos still help someone, so I will keep going. And I'll share some advice with you about how to overcome these feelings and actually produce authentic content that feels just right. So let's break it down in a simple, non pretentious way. Here's the thing, most of us were never taught how to talk about our art in a way that feels natural. If you went to art school, you were probably taught to write artist statement that sounded like academic essays. And if you didn't go to art school, maybe you were told that the work should speak for itself. Neither of those really help when you're sitting down to post something on Instagram or write a caption for a new painting you just finished or you actually care about. We know how to talk about technical stuff, about mediums, techniques, materials, all those things, because that's the language and the thinking that we acquired while learning how to make art. So that part comes naturally. If someone asks about your art, the first thing you do, you name your medium, don't you? I paint with oils, I paint with acrylics, I paint, this and that. But very few of us are taught how to explain what we're doing in a simple, non-technical human way. So we end up in this weird middle space where we're trying to sound thoughtful, but also cool, but also clear, and also not like we're trying too hard. It's a mess and it's exhausting, but it doesn't have to be. Here's what I want you to keep in mind. Talking about your art is not about proving something or impressing someone. It's not about being impressive. Let's remove that pressure. The only goal of what you're doing is just being understood. You're not writing for a panel of judges. You're writing for real people, people on Instagram who are scrolling, the kind of people who might become collectors, fans, students, supporters, but only if they feel something when they see your work and understand a little of what's behind it. So let's stop overthinking it. Let's stop trying to sound smart and just start getting clear. So what to actually say. If you're stuck, I like using this really simple three-part framework to talk about any piece of work. You don't have to use this every time, but it's a good place to start. Number one, what am I showing? Just describe it literally. It doesn't need to be poetic. This piece is from my new series on stillness. It's a portrait of my grandmother's chair after she passed. Boom, clear. Two, what inspired it? It can be big or small, emotional, visual, practical. You're giving people a thread to follow. Like I started it after a long walk when I saw the sky go totally dark before a thunderstorm. I couldn't stop thinking about that tension. Clear, understandable, relatable. Number three, what do you hope people feel or notice when they see it? This is where connection happens. I wanted this piece to feel like holding your breath, the quiet moment before something shifts. That's it. One sentence each. It doesn't have to be long or deep, just true, okay? Don't slip into this marketing robot mode. One thing to watch out for, and I say this with love, is what I call marketing robot voice. You'll know it when you hear yourself writing like this vibrant exploration of spaces seeks to interrogate memory and form through abstraction. La, la, la. This is how ChatGPT talks. We love ChatGPT, but we don't want that. It sounds smart, but it doesn't really say anything real. A human being on social media is not going to understand this. If you don't talk like that in real life, don't write like that in your captions. Talk like a human being who made something. That's what people connect to. Simplify as much as you can. You don't need to sell the work, okay? You need to introduce it. If you're really stuck, try this. This piece is about insert feeling or idea. I studied it when insert story or moment. The part I love the most is insert detail or surprise. So it might sound like this. This piece is about anxiety. I started it during a week when everything felt like too much and painting helped me feel grounded again. The pinks were accidental, but they ended up being the softest part and I kept them. That's more than enough. Look, I know that Some of you would rather just post a painting and not say a word. I get it, but remember that people don't buy art just because it's beautiful. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do, okay? It's important that they visually like your work because otherwise, why would they have it? But they also buy it because it means something, and they can't feel the meaning unless you let them in, unless you explain it to them at least just a little. You don't need to pour out your soul every time you post, but give people a thread to hold on to. Give them something that they can understand, something they can relate to. Let them meet the work and let them meet you. This is how the trust is built. This is how the connections grow, and that's what leads to real collectors. From, just likes, they develop this connection and they learn more about your art, and eventually they decide to buy it. You've got to plant these seeds, making your ideas as clear as possible. If this was helpful, let me know in the comments. What do you struggle with when you write about your art? What's your biggest problem? Let me know. I'd love to hear, because that would help me also make more helpful content for you. And if you want more help building a simple, sustainable art presence that doesn't feel gross or exhausting, I've got tons more for you here on this channel or inside my monthly membership, Yes Art Club. All right, go write that next caption. I promise it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be yours. And yeah, follow this channel. I share helpful tips about marketing and selling your art online and beyond every Wednesday. See ya!